Something that is probably going to affect all of us here in the United States and the rest of the world is Twitter, because we are all addicted to it. But they have apparently just rolled out Bitcoin payments on Twitter. You can now get paid in Bitcoin to use Twitter, which is pretty cool. So the idea is that Twitter is now allowing users to tip their favorite content creators. It's been rolled out on Apple iOS to start off with, but in coming weeks, it can be expected on Android. It's not currently available on the web app. But it's very cool to see them roll this out. They first of all experimented with tipping. I think they started it in May, and this was like a fiat option. And then Jack Dorsey has hinted that Bitcoin is going to be coming to Twitter, and now it is here. So let's dive into the details of all this. Zach, I'll throw to you to start off with. What do we know about this scheme being rolled out?
Yeah, this is a big deal. I mean, we've heard from Jack Dorsey quite a lot in the last year, even more about his infatuation with Bitcoin specifically, and this is him really putting his money where his mouth is. As you mentioned, it's part of a bigger push to monetize content creators on Twitter, and putting Bitcoin at parity with fiat options is really smart and really interesting. The specifics of this involve third-party services like Jack Mallers' Strike app and others. I think Cash App is also one of the ones that's supported. So these are sort of third-party integrations that make it easy to send Bitcoin across the internet to whoever you want. And I think that's actually quite notable. I think the thing with tipping, and we talk about this often when we talk about Bitcoin payments, it's great to receive a tip, but it's going to be interesting to see if people want to part with their Bitcoin in this fashion. But the ability for this to be easy and native to one of the biggest social media platforms on earth, super interesting, really interesting to see. And in a slight deviation from Jack Dorsey's, recent sort of Bitcoin maximalist stance, the NFT verification thing is also quite interesting, and that's going to come out down the line. So a lot to dig into here. I'm going to put you, George, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your take when you saw this drop yesterday? It's kind of funny to look back, like 12 hours ago. It's like, yeah, Bitcoin, woo, Twitter's doing it. And then, here we are, China, trying to crack down. It's like just
that's no surprise anymore.
The whiplash in this space is so much. But I'm going to throw it to you, George,
balance out the candles there.
A look at those happier times.
Exactly. First off, shout out to Jack Mallers, absolute legend. And also apparently shout out to anyone named Jack in the cryptocurrency world. Maybe I need to change my name. I'm trying to make a big impact. I think it's awesome. Rolling out Lightning payments on top of Bitcoin brings Bitcoin back to its roots, right? Bitcoin started as a peer-to-peer digital cash, right? And now transaction fees are so high and it seems somewhat difficult to do casual transactions. And now with Lightning growing and lots of things need to happen to get Lightning to, be fully implemented. But the fact that Twitter is putting it out there and having it be a means for payment is awesome. And most maximalists get angry about NFTs, but I don't, right? If you don't want to spend money on NFTs, then don't. So I'm actually not surprised that Jack decided, hey, we can get NFT profile pictures because that's fun internet native things. Naomi, looks like you have something to add on to that.
Yeah, I will mention when we say we're getting back to the Bitcoin roots of peer-to-peer, it's not quite what we have here with the Twitter situation. We do have third parties intervening here. If you look at the terms of service of this, information about you, including but not limited to your full name, address, the tip may be shared with the recipient, others, and also third-party payment services. They could potentially, receive a portion of this. Twitter doesn't receive any portion of the tip, but third parties might. So it's not a peer-to-peer network at all. There is definitely an intermediary in here. But I think there are a lot of haters out there who is kind of pointing to that and being like, oh, why do we need these middlemen? Why do we need these custodial services? I still think it's super cool that this is being added to Twitter. I'm not going to detract from the fact that one of the largest social media platforms in the world is embracing and popularizing Bitcoin. I think that's cool, even if they don't do it in a non-custodial way, even if they don't give users full sovereignty over their funds. I think it's a huge step in the right direction in getting people involved in the crypto space. But Jen, I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, I thought this was super exciting. I'm so upset Will isn't on the show today because he did commit on this very show to tip me on Twitter in Bitcoin when the product rolled out. So I will be collecting my funds.
As I have to find that clip is ever going to part with his tats. Come on,
find that clip first. I thought this is super interesting because although Jack is exploring what a decentralized social media platform could look like. Twitter is still a centralized platform. And I just wonder what Facebook and TikTok are looking at in this project and what they might be thinking about. Is this kind of the future of social media? Are all platforms going to allow us to authenticate our NFTs that we use in our display pics and on our posts? We spoke about Grape yesterday, authenticating NFTs on Discord. And so is this something that centralized platforms are really looking at and trying to solve? And are Facebook and TikTok just going to copy Twitter? And are we going to be able to transact in Bitcoin on social media and authenticate our NFTs that we're sharing? That it just looks such an exciting look into the future.